course of this interview, we have highlighted the importance of communication. And as I've said earlier, the first thing that I would ask my employer is what communication channel we can communicate more often and how frequent should we communicate. So boss, whenever I would ask an employer that, from your point of view, how would you say it or how would you answer that question?
Well, I get excited when a VA says to me, like, how do you prefer to communicate? Because I usually try to make that part of the conversation, but I save it towards the end. I want to see if the VA will bring it up. And the idea really is that I want communication that's realistic, but consistent. And what I mean by that is I don't expect any VA to be 24/7. I try to learn from each of my VAs when they're going to be online and when they're available, when their kind of like normal time to work is, right? So most of my VAs, like my video editor, they don't have a set schedule. They get a project. I'm kind of expecting in the general sense, based on their workload, complexity of the project, it should take them X amount of days to finish the video. And in the X amount of days, they're probably working on multiple videos, and each video should take them a couple hours a day kind of working thing, right? So I have this kind of math in my head. So I'm able to kind of really get a good sense of what they should do. And I communicate when they don't meet that. When they go too far, I check in with them. When they do things really quickly, I say, that was great, awesome. I make sure I go above and beyond for praising them for expedited turning things around. I have a sense of what I expect. Most business owners don't. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm pretty successful. Most business owners don't know what success looks like. And most business owners can't articulate what success looks like for their VA. So it's important for you to ask them, how do they want feedback? How regular do they want feedback? How often do they want to meet? How do they want to communicate? Because your keys to success with that client will be how you meet their expectation. And if you communicate with them in a way that they are happy with, you'll keep working with them. They'll be patient with you. They'll give you, if you need time off for this or something happens, you can't work every once in a while because of a family thing or whatever, they'll be flexible. But if you don't ever show up online when they're online, if you are not responding to their messages quickly, they're going to lose trust. Talked about this before, right? It's the most important thing. So I want to make sure that I trust my VAs. I have to trust my VAs. I don't keep VAs around very long that I can't trust. So when a client would ask you as a VA, what is your preferred way of communicating? How often do you communicate? That's when you really talk about what you need. What's important to you as far as time and availability. And don't say you can do anything for everything, right? You don't want to promise that you can be available 24/7. You don't want to set an expectation that you can work on weekends if you don't want to work on weekends.
In a way, it's setting your boundaries as a VA. Of course, your clients aren't also going to be working for 24/7. So you have to set a time where you're available and when your client can be available and, communicate when you can talk or when you can discuss about projects that you need to work.